Hello guys, Robot1 here, coming at you with a new Yu-Gi-Oh video today. And this video is going to be talking about the Yu-Gi-Oh community, specifically the new players in the community. And how basically why they are needed in the game and how you guys can help them to try and keep them in the game to make them better and just make them be able to play the game still and just be able to, you know, keep them in the game, make them enjoy the game, so make sure they have lots of fun in the game. That's what this discussion video is going to be about today, and that's why I'm talking about it. We're also sorry for any of the poor lighting in here, sorry for the glare at the windows back there. I cannot do anything about that, sadly, because it is daytime. I don't have curtains, which might be very weird to some people, but I prefer not having curtains just because I can actually put my stuff on the window. Yeah. So, yeah, just wanted to say sorry for any poor lighting quality, and also, yeah, pretty much that's just it. So let's get into the actual video. So, I think we should start off with why the new Yu-Gi-Oh players in the game are important, and we'll move on to how you can help them after that. So, why the new Yu-Gi-Oh players in the game are important? Well, to start off with, without the new Yu-Gi-Oh players in the game, we wouldn't have anyone to bring profit into the game, such as, not for us as players, for Konami as a business. So what I'm saying is, if we don't get a constant flow of new players in the game, Konami won't be making money, and Konami won't be making enough product to support the game, or be able to, or could even stop making product because no one is playing their game. No new people are playing the game. No one is buying product, and no one is really trying to get into the game. And that is one of the big things about how the new players are really important to the game, just because this constant flow of new players, these casual players, these competitive players, all these new players coming into the game, they bring profit into the game. They bring money into the game to keep the game alive. And that is why the game won't die. Because we have a constant flow of new players coming into the game. And without this constant flow of new players, we won't actually be able to play the game, and we won't be able to get tons of support for the game. Because the whole reason this game is still going on as a thing, as a company, as a thing, is because new players keep seeing the new cartoons, keep seeing the cards in shops, keep seeing all this stuff, and keep buying the cards so that they can continue playing the game, get into the game, have fun with the game. And that is kind of one of the main reasons why the new players are important. Now, there's also more reasons for why the new players are important in the game, and the new players are important. Another reason for why the new players are important in the game is because without the new players coming into your locals, coming into other stores, your local store could die, essentially. Without your local store, you won't be able to play Yu-Gi-Oh, and you will lose your basically your card game a place to play. Like, for me personally, I have 2 locals that I can go to each week. I will make that kind of free. One of them is starting up. I haven't been able to go there for the past few weeks because money and stuff. But when I look at it as a whole, as the local scheme, without the new players constantly coming into these locals to boost these locals' numbers, these locals won't want to hold their Yu-Gi-Oh events, and if the locals don't want to hold their Yu-Gi-Oh events, they won't make money. Their place will lose a lot of income. They won't be able to keep their stop open. They won't be able to pay for their lighting bill. They won't be able to pay for their electricity. They won't be able to pay for their heating. They won't be able to pay for their bills to keep the shop open, and essentially you will lose your place to play. So these casual / competitive players that are coming into your locals constantly, getting into the game currently, just having lots of fun in the game, and are really necessary because they boost your store's numbers. And by boosting the store's numbers, you're boosting your prize support in the game, in the shop as well. Because by more prize support means more games for you to play, more reason for you to play, and it gives people more of a reason to play as well, so that you can be more interested, be more, you know, want to play more better, so you can actually get to the top, win those packs, and have fun. So without these new players, you won't be able to boost your price support. You won't be able to boost your store's income and keep them alive and open. You won't be able to you won't be able to keep the game alive itself, because without Konami constantly getting new players into the game, constantly getting people to want to play the game, you won't be able to get enough people to constantly play the game and just play the game in general to have fun. And that is one of the problems with the game, with people at times, because they don't see these new players as people who need to who need to, who need to learn about the game. They don't see them as people who want to, who help them keep the game alive. They don't see them as people who keep their shop alive. They see them as targets most of the time. Well, I'm not saying all Yu-Gi-Oh players do this. I'm not saying all Yu-Gi-Oh players see these new players as targets for such as like trades to rip off people, and that's really bad at times, be ripping off people. Like, I personally don't try to rip off anyone. If someone wants to give me a good deal, I will normally up the deal slightly at times, just so that I'm not ripping them off entirely. But if they, and I know I just said I do rip people off, but I usually make them known about it at times. And if I try not to do it, and I always give the person advice as well when I'm trading with them, so that they can understand what their problem is and what they need to do. Like, if I don't get a card of them, I tell them the value of it as well, so they can't get ripped off. If they don't want to trade for it, they don't want to trade for it. So I just help them. Like, even at times, if they give me a really good deal, I'll ask them to look at their deck and improve it slightly. So I'll always try to help a new player. But that's the next point that we're getting into, how you can help these new players. Like, we've gone over the points of why we need them in the game and why they're important, such as to keep your store's overhead, to keep the bills on, to keep products coming in through the doors, to keep tournaments going on, to keep the game still going, because Konami needs the money as well to keep producing our game. Like, we've gone over that, so let's move on to how you can essentially help these new players that are coming into your stores, coming into your locals, coming online, just trying to find out how to play the game, how to get better at the game. So, first of all, how you can help these new Yu-Gi-Oh players get better. You can essentially ask to look at their deck. Now, I know that's a strange thing to do at times, ask people for their deck to look at, but this is a serious option. This is serious. The reason this is serious is because when you look at someone's deck, you see what they've got in it. And I know that some people like to be secretive about it, some people don't want to see this, but nonetheless, it is still a way to help them. Now, by asking them for their deck, you're going to have a look through their deck. You're going to check for any banned cards. You're going to check for any cards that aren't good, and you're going to check for basically anything that doesn't fit in the deck. You're going to check for anything such as that. And while doing this, you should explain to the new player why they can't play these cards, why they should change these cards for other cards, and how they can actually improve their decks and how they can improve their playstyle. Now, I've done this before with a guy called Josh at my locals. Not you, Josh Ullers, another Josh, and he's come up to me before. He's asked me to help him with his deck. I gladly do it because I understand that he is a new player who's been in the game for well, he's not necessarily new, but he's been in the game for about a couple of months. He does all right at locals once every few weeks. So he plays Blue Eyes, and he asked me to look at his deck. I go through his deck, tell him the things that he can change, give him ideas. Like, even with Expo, he didn't know about a lot of the cards in the new set, so I told him options that he could play in the set, and he got some packs, got those cards that he needed as well, which was really good, such as Hey Trunade, which was a good option for his deck, just because he plays the Chaos Max variant, and getting rid of back row is very important in his deck, just so he can get around all of his opponent's back row and go for game. So asking a new player for their deck can be very helpful, just because you can look through their deck, improve their deck, give them advice, help them understand why they can't play certain cards, and definitely show them the ban list as well, so they know that they can get a game loss for these cards that are in their decks, because you are not allowed to play stuff like I can't say Monster Reborn or Judgment. I'm going to say Stratos. You can't play Stratos in your Hero Dex players. New players, like, I want to play Stratos in my deck so much. But in the non-meta weeks videos coming in 2 weeks, you'll get to see that, guys, yeah? So stay tuned for that. But yeah, so looking through their deck is a very good way to help them. Another way to help them is to give them advice on trades. Basically, ask them for their binders and tell them, oh, there's something in here that's worth a lot of money. You should maybe put money in. You should maybe put a sleeve in on it, or you should maybe look up online to maybe make sure that there's valuable. Like, basically what I'm saying is, you should give them advice on their trades. So basically, tell them what a card is worth. Tell them that if there's a certain card in their binder that's really a lot of money, but you should they should put it in a sleeve. Tell them that they should sleeve their decks in general as well for help looking at their decks, because those cards could be worth a bit of money as well. Give them advice on their binder, give them advice on trades, give them advice such as always check online before trading or selling. That's something I always personally do. I always check online before I sell or trade the card, just to see if it's worth it, just to see the value of the card, just to see if I'm willing to sell it, and just to see if it's the correct value of the card that I believe it should be. Sometimes it's a little low, so I might not trade it. Sometimes it's a little high, so I might have to so I give them the value. If they want to trade, they want to trade still. But make sure you tell them to always check their values as well, because values is a very big thing in the game, and you should always they should always know their values in the game. So yeah, that's a very important thing as well for the new players to understand, that their trades in their binder have value, and if there is a very expensive card, they should probably sleeve it. They should check the value of the card themselves so they understand the value of the card before getting rid of it, and always check the value of any card you want or the other person wants before trading. So that's another way. Another thing you could do is basically is test with them. Test with them, just play against them, show them what the game is like. Basically, test with them, show them how to play the game properly, give them ideas for decks they could possibly play, ask them what they like, ask them what they don't like, just give them ideas of what their decks they can play, because if you're not playing a deck that you don't want to play, they're not going to stay in the game. But giving them ideas for things they could play helps them pique interest in other products, and helps them pique interest in what they could play, what strategies they can play. Such as what I'm playing right now, Magicians. I personally didn't like a card in my deck, Chronograph Magician. I don't like the card in my deck, but I play it anyway. And I still find enjoyment in the deck. It's just like, I don't like the card, but I realized after going X3 at the Brotherhood locals that I needed to play the card. I was missing the card in my deck, and because I wasn't playing it, I lost games. So I really did. So just helping them figure out ideas that they could play in their decks, helping them figure out what they want to play, helping them change their decks to something better, and helping them learn stuff like chain links, summonings, damage step conditions, counter trap works. Just explaining the game to them while testing them is another good option as well. Like, just giving them advice on the game, helping them learn the game is really a good way to help people, new players in the game, get into the game and just learn how to play the game a lot better, and just get them interested, get them piqued, like just get them to want to play the game more. And these are all very good ideas to help your new players coming into the game, play the game, because it piques interest in their ideology, and it makes them want to play the game more. But yeah, guys, that's the video. I hope I gave you guys enough knowledge to somewhat help some of the new players who come into your store, to keep your new players coming in, and just make sure that you understand that new players are important. Without them, our game wouldn't be able to survive. They wouldn't be able to play the game properly. They wouldn't be able to want to keep playing the game. They wouldn't want to put money into the game, and without them, the game would not exist. New players constantly coming in are what keeps this game alive, and even the casual players as well. The casual market is very huge, and they need help as well. So yeah, I hope you guys understand this video topic very well. I hope that you guys out there are all going to help new Yu-Gi-Oh players coming into your local store, help them understand that they really do need the help. And my focus has gone all blurry, so I'm just going to end this out now. And I hope you guys understand that they need the help more than anything. So yeah, guys, that's the video. Tell me what you thought of the video in the comment section below. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you help new players. Tell me if you prefer to scam new players. And if you are, man, change your ways. Come on. If you want to help other players, and if you just in general like seeing new players come into the game and try playing against them and testing against them and helping them learn about the game, tell me all of that in the comment section below, because I like to hear about it. I like to discuss about it, and I just like to hear ideas of things that I could have missed in this video as well. Like, there is probably a plethora of things that I actually missed in this video that could help new players. I understand that there is probably still a lot, but I feel like I covered all the basics and what you guys really should do to try and help new players. So As I said, tell me about all of that in the comment section below. Give me your opinions on this. Give me your thoughts on this. And yeah, so if you liked the video, guys, as well, don't forget to press the like button to show that you enjoyed the video and want to see more videos like this. If you want to subscribe to my channel to see future content, press the subscribe button as well, so I can show that so you guys can come and watch my future Yu-Gi-Oh videos and have them in your subscription box. And if you want to be notified of those future Yu-Gi-Oh videos, press the bell button as well down below, the notification button, to be notified of those future Yu-Gi-Oh videos as well. So yeah, guys, new Yu-Gi-Oh players need help. We as the competitive players need to help them. And yeah, so as I said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Robot1 signing out. And Ziad, yes, crawlers are cool. I know you're gonna watch this, and this is your end credit for it. So try these new players on crawlers, yeah, all of you. Cool. Bye, guys. Robot1 signing out.